See what Vegas thinks. Caesars Sportsbook by William Hill sees it as a tight race. Nobody has longer odds than 5-1 to win the division, but as you see, the Cowboys right now are the favorites with Washington right behind them. And RC, I want to pick up on the thought that you had, because I think it's a good one. The Cowboys have a lot of questions. They also seem to have a lot of potential. If all the answers come back yes, then the Cowboys could be really good. I would agree with that. But how would you assess the likelihood that that is what winds up happening here?
You know what's crazy is I think it's highly likely. Listen, coming into last year and when teams or when we were having these conversations in the offseason and many of us were talking Super Bowl, I was one that wasn't. I said, okay, let's pump the brakes on the Cowboys a little bit. Let's see what happens going forward. But I like what they've done defensively. When you think about Dan Quinn and the success he's had as a defensive coach, not as a head coach in what his defense was, but as a defensive coach, I believe his imprint will be on this team. Micah Parsons is a star. And I think when giving Dak the $40 million contract, you give Dak that $40 million contract and empower him. La'el Collins should be healthy. They should be healthier on the offensive line, and Ezekiel Elliott has something to prove. Is it the biggest variance between floor and ceiling? Absolutely. I believe they'll be closer to the ceiling, and by that fact, compete in the playoffs.
All right, and so Mike T, as you look at that division right now, if you had to bet your palatial estate in Boca Raton, which team do you like in the NFC East in this coming season? Let's put them up there. Go ahead, Mike T. Who you got?
In tax-free Florida, I'm taking Dak Prescott and Dallas Cowboys, and here's why. If we were drafting just from the players in the NFC East, we're taking Dak Prescott and then draw a line, Greeny. I don't even know who the second best player is. Maybe it's Chase Young, but Dak Prescott is so much better as a football player than anybody else in that division. I agree with RC about defense and Dan Quinn, but this is about the quarterback, and they have a great one in Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, honestly. I grant you, based upon the significance of the position, that he's the best player in the division. Chase Young is closer to being the best edge rusher in the sport than Dak is to being the best quarterback. Jeff Darlington, go. Who you got in the division?
Look, I'm going to say Washington. Ryan just did a really good job, though, selling me on the Cowboys. I feel like this could be finally in a division that is just always overhyped. I feel like this is going to be a fun race toward the end between Washington and the Cowboys, because I'm with him on the Dak Prescott angle. Like, that just elevates this team to a level, the empowerment of the contract, the whole deal. Like, I like what Ryan's saying there. I'll stick with Washington because I don't want to mess up the producers there with the graphic and whatnot, but I like what Ryan was saying.
Well, I'll take that and I'll raise it. I think Washington is one of the elite teams in the NFC. I genuinely do. RC, I think they're being sold short. That defense is great. It's not good, and it's getting better. And they've added some pieces on the offense, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, if he is not a superstar, which he is obviously not, I think can be at least an average quarterback. They had the worst quarterback play in the NFL last year, 32nd out of 32 teams by QBR. Yes, if they're just decent at that position, I think they're an excellent team.
Greeny, I understand that, but no one in the world in the last decade and a half has ever said that they are Ryan Fitzpatrick away from being a Super Bowl contender. And I love Fitzmagic. I enjoy to watch it, but that's just not a thing. They'll be a good team. They'll be very good defensively. They've also added some pieces offensively. But to me, the Dallas Cowboys are the cream of the crop in the NFC East.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.